in this video, we'll talk about components and bodies, and we'll discuss the difference between them. And to show those information, we will start creating a clock. We will start from a simple shape. We'll start with a cylinder that will be placed on the bottom of the workspace. And the size doesn't matter because it's just a simple example. I will click OK. And as you can see, we have a new folder in the browser called Bodies. And we have Body 1. Well, what we need to do is to rename the body with a suggestive name. And I will name it Clock Face. We can see here that we have a cylinder icon, but that's not because we made a cylinder. This is the icon for bodies. Let's go on with the clock hands. I will go in a top view, and I will continue adding two objects on the clock for the hour and for the minute. I will create a box that will start from here, like this. I will select new body, and I will click OK, and we can see I have a new body here. And let's say that the hour hand, I will select the clock face so I can model on it. We'll start from here, it needs to be smaller, and I will make it a component. So again, cylinder for body, cube for new component. Let's click OK. And we don't need to forget something, minutes hand, and this is the hour hand. Okay, so they're still the same things, yeah? So we have two hands and one clock. What's the difference between bodies and components? Well, first, let's try to move the clock face. Let's try to move the minutes hand, and let's try to move the hour hand. Well, components are free to move, and bodies are fixed. That's because bodies are relative to the root component origin, and components have their own origin axis. Okay, and why do I need to have a component in my project? Well, let's make the clock work. I will go to the assembly and I will select as build joint. I will select the components. Well, I will select the clock face and the hour hand. And now I need to select the middle of the clock where the motion will go. I will click again, and as you can see, I selected the face, I selected the hour hand, and the motion is happening. Let's click OK, and let's try this with a body. I will go to as build joint, and as you can see, I can select the body to do the motion. That's because bodies are static, they are fixed in the environment, and we need free to move objects to do joints, animations, and movements. So to fix this, I will go to the minute hand, I will right click on it, and I will create a component from the body. Let's try again. I will go to the as build joint, I will select those two things, I will hide a little bit the minute hand so I can click on the clock face center, and as you can see, now I can do the motion. So having the hand free to move, being a component, and having the clock face a fixed body, I can do the movement because I have a fixed surface on which I have a free object that can do the movement. And let's see how this looks like. I will show again the hour, and I can move them as I want to set a custom hour. The joints are the links between the components, and another thing that I want to show you is that the reason why the components can be moved is because they have their origin axis. So that's the difference between the bodies and components. Bodies are fixed and they are relative to the component they are in. Components are free to move, they have their own origin axis, and the most important thing is to name your bodies and your components properly, because when you have a very, very big project, you will get lost in them. Let's save this clock, and we can move on to the next video.